Well, I've always said to do anything right, you have to have the right tools. Well, when it comes to exercising, it's important you have the right shoe. Ron French is a shoe expert, and he tells me that different types and different styles and different feet should have the perfect shoe, and not walking into any shoe, department at a big store.
A big store. A big box store.
That's not helpful. Why? Why do we have to go to a specialty store?
What you do when you go to a specialty store, you get analyzed, right? We take into account what activities you're doing, how much you're doing them, and then we can kind of select a proper shoe that works with your biomechanics. And if that makes any sense, we see how you're aligned. If your feet roll in, if they roll out, we've got the shoe that helps correct one or both of those, or whichever. So it's important not just to go up and walk to the big wall in the big box store and pick the prettiest one and the cheapest one.
Yeah, because you know what? The chances are if you don't have the right shoe, you could get injured, and then you're not going to exercise, and then you're kind of defeating the purpose.
If it hurts, you're not going to do it, right?
Okay, let's talk about some of the different shoes, because it's still overwhelming. So, for example, I'm going to show you guys something here, okay? And tell me what you see. Actually, sorry. Okay, now tell me what you see here. Now this looks to me like, a typical tennis shoe that you would buy. This tennis shoe, completely different.
Completely
Ron,
different.
what's the difference between something like this versus something like this?
The one in your right hand, lower profile. Gets you a little bit closer to the ground, the heel's a little bit lower, so it helps with your balance and your support, because you're lowering your center of gravity. The lower you are, the more stable you are, right?
Oh.
Whereas your typical run shoe has a little bit higher heel, lower, forefoot, so you're up, not quite a high heel, but you're up higher, taking stress off the calf. So you will experience a little bit more stress in the lower part of your limb, but you're going to be more stable in this type of shoe.
When somebody comes and works with you, or you work with them, I should say, and helping them get the right shoe, what are some of the questions that you ask them when they come in? Something that you need to know in order to get them the right shoe?
What type of surface? How much are you doing the activity you're doing? Do you have a history of injuries? Do you have a knee problem? Do you have a hip problem, a back problem? Whatever those are. And then we walk them through a real simple analysis. We look at their feet in motion. Basically, we have you walk and run with us, and we can see what kind of motion's in your foot plant. That helps us select the shoe category, and then we try on numerous different types of shoes and find the right one for you.
Okay, here's what I want to do, you guys. I'm going to go out front here. And Ron, I want you to go with me. I'm going to kick off my shoes.
Good
because
idea.
I remember going into your place and you having me do a walk.
Yes, exactly.
To see what happened, what's happening to my ankles.
Yeah,
so what do you see in my ankles?
We draw an imaginary line here to see how your alignment is, to see if you're rolling inside or outside. And then we have you walk away from us so we can see you in a dynamic environment. So we want to see you in motion, because standing and moving can be completely different activities. So as you walk away, we can see what kind of motion, we can see what kind of flexibility is in the arch, the ankle, and again, that leads us back to the correct category of shoe.
Okay, let me see. What do you think in here? Boy, there's all kinds of stuff on the floor here. What do you think in here when you see my gait?
Standing pretty stable. As you walk, the arch is pretty flexible, so it does roll a little bit to the inside or towards the medial side of the foot. So by seeing that, my first inclination would be to take you towards a little bit of a slight stability shoe, just to make sure we've got enough arch there to keep you from rolling too much towards the big toe. Because as soon as you roll inside, where that foot goes, so go the angles.
Right, because sometimes, well, I think it's also because we do wear a lot of high heels here, I get a lot of pain in my arch, and I think for women who have to wear high heels, or choose to, it's all about a choice, ladies, right? We choose the high heels. We put those comfy shoes on, and we feel something completely different in the muscles in our feet.
Absolutely, they relax a little bit.
Yeah.
When you're in those high heels, you are in a static position for most of the part. It doesn't have much flexibility. So when you can get into a shoe that allows your foot to do what it was intended to do, is flex on the foot plant, big difference.
All right.
Big difference.
So much good information, and it's really important that when you go and you pick out your favorite exercise program, that you have, as I said earlier, the right tools, because it'll make all the difference in the world, right?